Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this one I'm shore diving, swimming out to a nearby island, not too far, but still a bit of a mission. Conditions were looking good, the water was nice and clear, so started the day pretty early, packed up and made my way down the beach to find a good spot to jump in. So I started swimming out, and on the way I took some time cruising over some shallow ledges. Early in the morning, snapper will sometimes park up in close, so it's always worth a look before going out deeper. Nothing here though, so just kept powering towards the island.
Almost there. Not too bad of a swim.
Finally make it to shore after a decent swim and get straight into it and start exploring.
It's a pretty awesome island. These cliffs, insane.
A couple of minutes after I arrived, as I was just swimming towards the shore, there was a decent amount of swell that started coming through. You can see me here just kind of fighting to get through this corridor. But the structure looked good and it looked like a decent place, so did my best to dive down amongst all the wash. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I'm a huge fan of crayfish, so the first thing I do is start looking for cracks and crevices to look in, and as I find this little gutter here, I creep up and find a little patch of paua, which is super rare. I almost never see them. I've only ever taken one, but there was a nice crack here with about 5 or 6 little paua.
There's a bunch of baby paua in that crack. Nowhere near legal, but still cool to see.
I just dive back down here to get another look at the paua, just pointing to one here and checking the rest of the crack to see if there's anything else, but there wasn't, unfortunately. But that swell was really starting to get to me. It's kind of bashing me around as I'm coming back up here.
A bit rougher than I expected. Might have to move.
It doesn't look like it on the camera, but it was actually pretty rough. So I crawled ashore to the nearby beach and took a bit of a rest. Hey everyone, so I'm here on another little mission. Scoped out this island on the drone and I've just swum over, but yeah, it's a bit rough. As you might have seen in that those last few clips, those waves out there are just smashing me around. It's like a washing machine. So I've just parked up on this beach and might just rest for a second and then swim to a different spot. Yeah, a bit disappointing, but hey, that's what happens. Shore diving is unpredictable, especially in areas that you can't directly see, but you know, still it was cool to see that little patch of paua. It would be nice though legal, but yeah, so I'll just hang out here, check out this little cove. It's quite cool, and then yeah, get back in and swim to a different spot. It's quite cool, the areas that you can see while out diving. I mean, I'd never have been to a place like this if it weren't for, you know, going for a spearfish, but yeah, look at these cliffs. It's pretty awesome. Probably be good rock fishing over there as well, but this swell is just too much. Don't want to take any unnecessary risks, you know, getting smashed into rocks or whatever, losing gear. So yeah, I'll just explore here, chill out for a bit, and then we'll find another spot. Sweet. I grab the gear and fight my way back out after having a bit of a rest and make it to a more sheltered part of the island, which is about a 15-minute swim away, but it was well worth it.
Nice, this is a lot better. It looks a lot more chill. Nice clear water. Good viz. Let's get into it.
Just as I was jumping in the shallows, I found a paua shell here. Not legal, but still cool to see. This area must have a few of them, which is unusual for where I am in North Island. I'd spent enough time in the shallows at this point, so loaded up the gun and headed out a bit deeper to see what was around. not long after, as I'm just floating here at the top, I see a big school of kahawai come racing past. So I dive straight down and try to line one up to take. Kahawai are one of my favorite fish, smoked, so I was definitely keen to grab one. So I'm just lining one up here. They're moving quite quickly, so hard to shoot, but managed to get a shot off on this one. Fish drops instantly. It was a good shot, and come up to the surface with a nice kahawai. It's interesting, it was a brain shot, but the spear barely went through. Must have hit the skull or something. So that was lucky.
It's the last kahawai.
I really like eating kahawai, so my first thought is to bleed it and gut it just to make sure the meat quality is preserved a bit, but I come to regret that in a few minutes when my girlfriend flies the drone over and shows me what's around.
I smoked for the first time recently, and it's probably one of my favourite fish, smoked, so stoked for this. Probably my biggest kahawai as well.
So chuck him in the float boat and carry on. This was taken by my girlfriend who was flying the drone over me, and if you can see there at the top, there's a little shark that's come in to have a look, probably because of my bleeding a fish and gutting it. But it was really cool to see this perspective. Just shows you never really know what's around, and it is always worth being careful, especially in summer months. Not that this guy posed a huge threat, as you can see he's just carrying on, minding his own business, but still, it was a crazy thing to see after I got out. With that kahawai in the bag, I did my usual thing and just swam around and explored a little bit. Found this cool porcupine fish, or puffer fish, laying here on the bottom, so played with him for a little bit, which was quite cool. Actually got to touch him. There are some really awesome scenes on this day with that nice clear water and a good amount of cool wildlife around. After a bit of that, decided to get back on the hunt. So here I am just diving down on a ledge here, hoping to find a snapper or something parked up behind. I don't usually have very good luck on the snoop for some reason. I think I'm just not persistent enough at it. So just creep over here and check, but nothing this time. In the summer months, it's usually a lot more quiet on the crayfish front, but when I see places like this, I can't resist and go down and have a check, especially when there's murky swimming around. So I'm just checking out these caves here. It looks like the perfect terrain to find crays, but yeah, for some reason in summer I tend to not find as many. But still cool exploring though. I find cray diving pretty relaxing. I was a bit more persistent with this and found a nice crack here between two massive rocks. And as I dived down to check it out, see some feelers sticking out, which was exciting for a second, but when I got there, it was just a little group of baby packhorse, which was nice to see. Good to see the fisheries in a good state, but yeah, these guys weren't close to legal, unfortunately, so carried on. I decided to call it at this spot for that day because I had a long swim back ahead of me. So later that day, I swam back to shore and jumped in at a closer spot to where I was based. The viz was not very good at all. As you can see, it's very murky, but there was a lot more fishy than the last spot. I set a little burley here and a reasonable number of snapper were on it, which was quite cool. So I'm just creeping up here, trying to be really slow and quiet, and when I get a chance I take a shot. Dirty water can be really helpful sometimes, as you can get a lot closer to snapper than you normally would when the water's clean. So pull this one up here. He was about 35 centimeters, so not too bad, not massive, but yeah, was pretty happy with that. It was a kill shot again, which was funny. I don't usually get kill shots 2 in a row, but yeah, it's good to see the aim is getting a little better with experience, I guess. Same deal with the kahawai here, and the spear didn't go through very well. Looks like the skull's stopping it again. I recently lost the rubbers to my roller, so I had to put a standard muzzle on my gun. Maybe it was that, but yeah, it's a short gun anyway, so I am looking to upgrade to a longer gun for next time. And hopefully I will have some nice shiny new gear for the next one. I've been chatting to a New Zealand diving company about some stuff, so hopefully, yeah, I can show that off in the next one. With 2 fish in the bag, I was pretty happy. Didn't need to stay in a huge amount longer, but just with the numbers I was seeing this day in this area, I decided it was worth another try. So I set another burley and hope that something comes on that one. So here I am diving down again into pretty poor viz, but it has a pretty decent approach. I can hide behind this kelp here, but after a few tries on this one, I can see the snapper there, but I just can't get quite the right angle. So I scared them away this time, but I am persistent at this spot, so I keep trying. It was about 5 or 6 times I was creeping up on this spot from a few different angles, but on this dive I managed to get just the right angle, and I guess got lucky that the snapper didn't notice me and managed to shoot a nice little fish. Pretty happy with a 3rd stone shot of the day. That's not normal for me, you know, I'm not an expert marksman, but it was good to see that, yeah, it was another nice clean kill. This guy was about 37, 38, so him with the other snapper and the kahawai was more than enough for a nice dinner for about 4 of us, so called it a day after that. And went back and had a go at smoking a fish for the first time, which was quite fun. So decent catch for the day. Took me a while to learn how to butterfly open and split open the kahawai, but eventually got there and got walked through how to do it, which was really interesting because I had never really considered kahawai great eating fish, really. I was just going with a snapper, but having smoked kahawai, it's such a difference. It is a really nice change from, you know, just regular pan-fried fish. So this is definitely something I'm going to be doing in the future, looking for kahawai more actively so I can smoke them up. It's just really one of the best ways to eat fish, in my opinion. Yeah, it's looking good. It's going to be awesome. And it definitely was. That hard swim and that long day out were definitely worth it. Got a good few fish out of it, and yeah, just another awesome day out spearfishing. So thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully soon. Cheers.